I, like many of you, feel overwhelmed by the current situation of the world. The problems seem endless, and many of the causes seem hidden and beyond our control. It's frustrating to say the least. It's easy to feel helpless and victimized. That's why I believe fighting it is futile. It's futile to try and find a solution while being so enmeshed in the problems. We rehash and revisit the gruesome scenes, the lies, the corruption, fixated and more horrified with every meme, every social media post which describes the evils and horrors in graphic detail. Yet we don't stop looking to our phones for the answers. This is not good for us nor useful. I believe that the continual exposure of our hearts and minds to this information only reinforces our sense of victimhood. If we are not clear about how we want to respond, then we should just take a break and focus ourselves elsewhere. We get upset with those whom we might call the sheep, but they are actually just coping as best they know how. They are doing what they feel is right. They don't know what to do other than what they've always done. Just like sheep, they are herded by fear and intimidation. If we, who perhaps think ourselves better than the masses, are not able to rise above our emotional reactions, then we are no better. In our righteousness, we may be doing more harm than good. We too are being herded in a reactionary way. This is not good for anyone but the orchestrators of evil. They have anticipated outrage, planned and hoped for it. These days they flaunt their evil ways just to provoke. Do not fall for it. They know people are reduced by low vibe emotions. We give our power away when we are unable to focus our minds and control our emotions. I do not mean become uncaring, but worrying and upsetting ourselves from consuming negative information is really not a wise or healthy approach. We must be proactive, not reactive. All the information we need to catalyze ourselves we have seen. We know it's bad and that we should be doing something. But what? The answer is not constant outrage. We must practice mental and energetic hygiene if we are to be of service to the world and not get dragged down into the mire. The only way forward is to release all of the negative. We must step into a new world. We must create a new reality. We must show by example. We must metaphorically build an ark and invite those who are ready on board. If we don't have an ark, something to believe in, how can we even save ourselves? I believe that it's a waste of time to argue, to shout at the top of our lungs angrily in an attempt to convince others. No one is receptive to that. It's really not a good tactic at all. If you haven't figured it out yet, let me inform you. Politicians are corrupt, and they don't care about your opinion. We must refuse to be victims. We must refuse to be fearful or reactive or even bothered by the dying system. And it is dying. The evil ones know that it is dying and are intending to install a new system. But this is our chance to create the one that the greater body of humanity deserves. Humanity deserves to live in peace and harmony. Humanity wants to live in cooperation, in abundance, in freedom and respectful relationships. But right now, the vast majority of humanity is repeating its victim mentality programming. This is a very old program that has been reinstalled and reinforced over the centuries. We are at a unique point. It is a make or break point. The stakes are very high. If we play their game, we won't win. We have to use something that they don't think we will use. We have to rise higher than they think we are capable of. I do not believe that it takes everyone waking up. In fact, it really only takes a relatively small amount of people who are able to make an evolutionary leap and lead the way. The bulk of humanity moves with the tides. They are fickle. The reason that the evil elite have been able to do their dirty work is because humanity in general is susceptible to influence, even negative, self-destructive influence. Most people are trusting, and this trust has been abused. The good news is that people are receptive to positive influence, to love, to inspiration, to celebration, joy, and the principles of life. Given the chance, people will change. They just need to be shown the way. Humanity needs us to be a lighthouse. How can we be a lighthouse when we are filled with rage, with fear, and with grief? That is not compelling nor motivating. We are powerless as victims. Trying to use the legacy system, the politicians, the law, even protests, in my opinion, is futile. It is trying to solve the problem on the level it was created, and that will not work. The Dark Ones have designed and mastered that system. We must abandon it completely. We must rise above it, withdraw all of our energy from it, and create the world that we wish to live in. We must use our precious consciousness wisely. We also must forgive those that choose another path. Our power is in embodying our truth, our sovereign and precious heart and mind. We must not let those guiding parts of us be derailed. We are like lamps. We must kindle within us a brightness that dispels the darkness. Yes, it's hard to see others taking a path that seems wrong to us, but we cannot make that choice for them. It is their karma, their soul, their destiny. We risk losing our own self when we think we know what is right for another. We lose our humanity when we condemn anyone. We must cherish free will, self-determination, and respect above all. To me, love and forgiveness are synonymous. They are the source of life itself. True love means non-judgment, allowing. It is not conditional, but intentional. Love is a determination to hold another as equally sovereign and innately good, despite it being difficult to see sometimes. Holding this intention as our flag, there is nothing that can really oppose. Love is the greatest power there is. I don't mean the silly lie that society has made of the word. The evil ones have made idolatry out of love. We must remember what it really is. It is not bondage, nor is it really liking something or someone. No, it is non-judgment, neither good nor bad. It is unconditional allowance and regard. That is our arc, and it can unleash miracles. The new world must be built on love. Love requires faith. Love says, despite the confusion and darkness I see, there is a reason, there is a higher order, there is a light at the end of this darkness. There is a silver lining somewhere. I will look for it. This kind of thinking takes us out of disempowered victimhood and imbues us with power and authority. We become creators in our life and co-creators in the lives of others if they allow it. We become much more compelling, inspiring, and beautiful. If we are serious about being of service to the world, our communities, our families, and others, then we must find others of like mind and heart and build a new world. As we do so, we will offer hope and light a path for others to follow in our steps. We will have paved the way for them to release their old framework and step into a new one. Will you be a way shower, a trailblazer, a creator? Or waste your life force beating a dead horse? So I offer you this suggestion, this inspiration, to let go of the pushing against, the fighting, the consumption of heart-wrenching information, and instead spend your precious energy dreaming into existence designing and building the world that you want for yourself and the future of humanity.